I really want to cover the importance of quality quality of essential oils when it comes to raindrop technique. Now, in raindrop technique and nil modification, which you'll learn more about in your practical training, we use 100 to 140 drops of essential oil neat on the body. That's a lot of oil. And I want you to consider 1 drop of peppermint oil being equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea, just to give you some scope about the level of potency involved in raindrop technique, and also the reason why it's important that we only use quality essential oils and Young Living oils in particular. So let's have a look at that. Raindrop Australia chooses to work alongside of Young Living purely because they are the world's leading producer in essential oils. They test every single oil 15 different times that encompass what the fingerprint of the oil looks like, what all the constituents are made up of, and then they test that 6 times before it actually arrives to their customer's doorstep and into their hand. So the fact that they can guarantee that level of quality and no other company can is the reason that Raindrop Australia is so fond of and aligns so strongly with Young Living and everything that they do as far as the production of their beautiful essential oils, as well as products, nutritional products and beauty products. All right, but back to oils. What is an essential oil? So if you can think of it like it's a volatile aromatic liquid, it's the life force of the plant or the lifeblood of the plant. It's incredibly high concentrate, and when it's produced correctly, it's not toxic. So when we say volatile aromatic liquid, what we really mean is that it disperses. This liquid goes into very fine molecules and disperses into the atmosphere and has an aroma. Now, I want you to think about the kind of environment that a plant lives in. It's quite challenging because the environment is all about decomposition. The plants are constantly under attack in this decomposition place. Their leaves fall to the ground and break down into compost to keep the cycle going. But the leaves falling to the ground and this constant state of attack of microorganisms whose job is to actually break things down, these microorganisms like fungus and bacteria and viruses, sole purpose is to help eat up and gobble up the decomposed parts of the plant. The essential oil protects the living plant from that attack. But essential oils also carry oxygen to the plant's tissues, and it removes toxins and pollutants from the plant. Every essential oil also has a unique balancing effect when it's used on the human body, depending on what the plant is derived from. The frequency of different essential oils correspond to the frequency of different body parts. So if we think about that for a second, it'll be like marjoram. Marjoram's frequency is attuned to muscles. Then we've got wintergreen. Wintergreen is attuned to bones. Then we've got cypress, which is attuned to circulation, and peppermint attuned to nerves. So there's this frequency that is the same. It measures and mimics the same in the human body. Now, the power of essential oils is because of their complex chemical structure. Now, I want you to understand there are 80 to several hundred chemical constituents, many as yet, which are still unidentified by science. But there's also different soil types and climates that contribute to the potency of an essential oil. And if you think about every type of essential oil, let's take lavender as an example. When it's produced naturally, no two batches are ever identical. Their complex chemical fingerprint, plus the changes from batch to batch, means that man cannot duplicate the power of an essential oil. This truly is nature's wisdom in a bottle. Something else that I want you to know about essential oils. They're lipophilic. They love fat. That's why they're so easily absorbed into the body. It's within seconds from applying an oil topically that it's into the skin, and within minutes it's right through the bloodstream, and within 20 minutes it's reached every cell of your body. So this lipophilic nature of an essential oil almost yearns to be placed on our bodies. And essential oils have this beautiful advantage over herbs, and that is that they're highly concentrated. Now, you need very little essential oil to achieve results. I know people who get their diffusers for the very first time, put 10 drops of oil in, and give themselves a headache because they are just really not aware of how precious one drop and how potent one drop of essential oil can be. But having said that, it's also one of the reasons why essential oils are becoming popular as a natural way to maintain and optimize your health. So if we can just recap for a second on what essential oils are. They're a volatile aromatic liquid that makes up the lifeblood of the plant. They're highly concentrate and non-toxic, but they must be produced correctly to remain so. They have a complex chemical fingerprint that is ever changing with the environment. And they're lipophilic, so they're easily drawn into the skin and then into the bloodstream and into our cells. And they retain the life force of the plant because they haven't been dried like a herb, which is why you only need 1 drop of peppermint oil as opposed to 28 cups of peppermint tea. Okay, in the next slide, let's have a look at growing. The reason, again, Young Living is such an exemplary standard for essential oils is their seed to seal standard. No chemicals at any point in the production process of growing, harvesting, distillation, and bottling. What that means is there's no chance that chemical additives will harm you or your client or irritate their skin during raindrop technique. Now, there are not many companies that can say that. There are not many other essential oil brands that can give you that promise that the whole fingerprint of the oil has been captured and that there is nothing toxic present in the essential oil. That's an important factor to be very, very aware of when using essential oils in any given modality. Let's look at cooking temperatures. One of the things that makes an oil therapeutic grade is this low temperature, low pressure steam distillation. It cooks the plant matter very gently. And because of that, it ensures that all the constituents that are present in the plant's essential oil are captured into the bottle. But most companies would use high temperature, high pressure distillation. And that produces a reduced potency, a toxicity due to an imbalance in the constituents, because you've lost the fine balance that was originally present in the plant. Okay, so when you look here at these beautiful big distillation units that is at the Young Living farm, again, it's another wonderful reason that Young Living is the company we align with, because they are showing people, showing members of the public what the steam distillation process looks like, what it means to farm sustainably and not have any chemicals in the process of production or harvesting or growing or distillation or bottling, and ensuring the longevity of the species that you are producing from in their sustainability quest. Let's talk about the length of cooking time now. Most plants, you must cook a plant long enough, all right? Most cypress in the commercial world is only produced for 2 hours, and 15 minutes, I think. Yeah. Most commercially produced cypress oil is cooked for only 2 hours and 15 minutes. But Young Living did a lot of research into how long each plant must be cooked for, and they did it for every plant that they get an essential oil from. So what they learned in this research was that cypress needed to be cooked for 24 hours, because in the last 20 minutes of that gentle steam distillation, there are 18 key constituents released. Now, if you only cook a plant or cook the plant matter for 2 hours and 15 minutes in the general processing of commercialized essential oils, then what you're going to get from any other company is potentially an imbalanced oil, which then creates toxicity. You can understand now the extreme importance of knowing about quality. You don't want to be placing, as a practitioner ever, imbalanced oils on a person's body. Now let's look at the chemotypes. The Young Living's oils are a little different from what you might find commercially. And I'll give you an example of this. So basil, there are different varieties of basil. They all have different chemotypes, even though they're all basil plants. And so Young Living sells basil methyl chavocol, okay? But most commercial companies that sell essential oils, and basil being one of them, would sell basil eugenol, which is a sweet basil, okay? Now, the difference between the two basils, methyl chavocol and eugenol, is that even though they're both basil plants, they have different chemotypes in the variety of what they are. So their constituents will be different because of the fact that they are different plants. I hope that is please, engage the discussion at the end of the video if you have any further questions about that. Now, most other companies would source oils from brokerage houses who sourced from farmers, but Young Living grow most of their own oils to their seed to steel gold standard, and they do annual unannounced site visits to partner farms. So if they have to outsource, they choose a partner farm who's willing to uphold and meet those seed to seal standards. A lot of companies will sample random batches of oil. Something else to consider. Young Living tests and samples every batch of oil. Every batch of oil. So again, from a practitioner standard, you should feel confident in the company that you have chosen to align with as far as product usage goes for your skills as a raindrop practitioner. You should feel very confident in the quality of what you have in your hands. And it's a primary important aspect when it comes to being a practitioner. There are loads of massage therapists out there that use subpar massage oils and throw in fragrance synthetics for a person just to, sweeten the smell of a plain massage oil. And there's not a consideration of a person's wellness when that happens. So what we try to do here at Raindrop Australia is to teach our students to evolve to practitioners who consider all of those elements, so that a person is getting a holistic consultation every time they have a conversation with you, whether it's about their treatment of Raindrop or their own self-care plan of how they're going to use essential oils in their life. So I hope you enjoyed that video about quality, and please post in the comments if you've got any questions. I'd love to engage more about that because it's one of my favourite subjects, and I'll see you all in the next video.